In the dark groves of Arboreus, where the trees twist like serpents and the roots grab at your boots, there lives a guardian. His name is Halushia, Scion of the Wild. And today, I will be painting him. I don't really have a plan, just gonna go with my gut. Maybe have some wild choices in there and a mindset that's built on something I've leaned on for years. Dan Sullivan's 4 C's. The first one is commitment, and then courage, then capability, and last, confidence. Before we get to it though, just want to let you know this video isn't sponsored by anybody. Maybe someday, that would be cool. But Renegade Game Studios was generous enough to send me this figure to paint. Huge shout out to them for supporting the Heroscape community. Let's dive in and bring this ancient protector to life. The first C, like I said, is commitment. Commitment is the decision to start even when you don't know exactly how it's going to work out. So before all that, I primed Halushia black. You won't see that part because I forgot to record it. I use the Slapchop method, which is dry brushing it up in gray, then white to build up some highlights, because I'll be using the Army Painter's Speedpaint. That's mostly what I'm using. And then I made my commitment. No overthinking, no redos. Just go for the first thing and commit to it. So I grabbed some hardened leather and coated his entire body. Next, I want to try something a little different. So I grabbed Ghillie Dew. I mixed it up with a little speed paint so it wouldn't be as saturated. And I painted it on his arms and his hands and that little bark covered thing on his torso. At first it looked dark green going on. I was really excited. But as it dried, it turned into this weird pastel neon green. Not exactly the forest guardian I had in mind. I used it on his eyes too, but I'm really not liking the way it's turning out. But commitment means you move forward, not turn back. So we'll come back to see if we can adjust this a little bit. For now, he's a neon green, which leads right into the second C, courage. Courage isn't about feeling fearless. It's about acting even when you're scared out of your mind. There's a story I heard, I kind of like it, gives a good illustration for what courage is. Real courage isn't riding into battle proud and fearless. Real courage is charging forward even when you're so scared you might be your pants, but you charge anyway. It's not the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of it. It might sound a little crazy or drastic saying that you're gonna pee your pants because of painting a figure, but I did feel some fear that I was gonna have to redo this or maybe strip down the paint or something, because I don't like to overpaint. We're gonna move forward and hope that I can figure this out. I looked at those neon green arms and thought this might be a disaster, but I kept painting. I moved on to the armor and the shield and the sword, and I painted those up with some dark wood, and I also mixed the speed paint just to desaturate it a little bit. And then I moved on to the vines. I used some burnt moss on it, and well, I didn't really love it. So I went back with some burnt moss, but it was straight instead of diluted. Still didn't like it. So I grabbed a different color, desolate brown, and that was it. That clicked. Looked good. I like those vines. And sometimes you just have to keep swinging until something connects, or keep brushing until it looks good. And that's where the third C shows up, capability. Every brush stroke, good or bad, is how you earn your battle scars. And those scars are what make you capable. Once things started coming together, my momentum picked up. I went on to paint his beard and his tail and his hair with holy white to bring some light areas. And then I painted the, rocky textures on his legs and his back with grim black. Then it was time to tackle those neon arms again. So first I tried some Agrax Earthshade. Didn't really fix it. Then I mixed up some Noon oil with some speed paint medium, and I added a little bit of the Ghillie Dew. That darkened the green down into a rich, mossy texture that looked way more ancient and natural, and I was really liking it. So no more neon, but it still had a little bit of that green color I was going for. It still wasn't enough, so I took out some Nuln oil that was just straight Nuln oil and shaded in the deeper parts on his arms. I also put a little bit on his eyes, so he'd still have a glow, but it wasn't so bright. And that brings us to the last C, which is confidence. Not because I knew how it would turn out when I started, but because I stuck with it through the ugly face. I painted up his teeth with some bright white, and then I added some pupils to his eyes using some black paint, giving him a much fiercer look. Then I dry brushed some dirt spatter across his body, except the hair. It's pretty much everywhere, to dirty him up and tie everything together. Confidence doesn't come first. It's something you earn by making it through the messy middle. I think a lot of times we get this backwards and we think we have to be confident to do something. And that's very applicable to painting. You're like, well, I'm not confident in painting, and then you don't try things. But we have our mindset backwards. It really starts with that commitment. You commit to doing something. And once you've committed, you do have to have that courage, and courage doesn't mean you're fearless. You are fearful, but you're courageous and you do it anyways. And as you do things, as you make mistakes, as you push forward, that is when you gain the capability to do whatever it is that you're doing, to get better at painting different techniques. And as you get those capabilities, that's what gives you confidence. So the next time you go to tackle a new figure or try a new technique, one, you know this process works. And so you can be more confident that you're going to have good results. I don't think any miniature is complete without basing. So let's get Halushia based up. So I glued down a few small wood pieces from this basing kit I have from my repainter. I got a link in the description, and they look kind of like rocks. So that looks good. And I added some tufts of grass, and then I sprinkled some grass across the base. I always like to tap off the excess to make it stand up straight, and it gets rid of any extra off of the base. Then I paint the edge of the base black and the bottom as well. And of course, right in the middle of painting, my cat decided it was his turn.
Cat A.
Once everything's all finished, then I like to take some satin varnish and seal them all up, enriches some of the colors, and protects them from paint getting rubbed off or chipped. Let's take a moment to admire the finished figure, and then we're going to hear his story. In the darkest groves of Arborus, where gnarled trees choke out all but a sliver of sunlight, and thorns grow as long as swords, a terrible guardian once roamed. Trespassers heard his hooves before anything else, pounding the loom. Then the scrape of a wooden blade, and a roar echoing through the unlit glades as the Scion of the wild awoke. To harm the hollowed trees from whence the enchanted lifeblood of the world flowed was an offense worthy of a swift death. And wherever a dying land cries out for vengeance, Halushia answers. Thanks for coming along for this wild ride through colors, chaos, and courage. Let me know in the comments what you liked about this video and why you clicked on it in the first place. If you want to pick up Halushia or any other Heroscape expansions, there's an affiliate link in the description. It's a great way to support the channel. And if the 4 C's resonated with you, I've linked Dan Sullivan's book down below too. It's a great read if you want to dive deeper. And if you want to check out a video where I couldn't fix my mistakes and I wanted to completely start over with Killian Vane and strip all his paint off, check this one out over there.